Hey, so how to make the most out of Amazon Manage Your Experiments with ProductPinion. In this video, we're gonna explain it to you. So first, what is Amazon Manage Your Experiments? It's a feature, relatively new feature in Amazon that allows you to A/B test things, main image, title, and with the ultimate goal of helping you improve your click-through rate, conversion rate, get more sales and make more money. Okay, so that's Amazon Manage Your Experiments. And we are gonna today talk also about ProductPinion, which is a software that actually helps you also kind of test different listings you have, get real feedback from real Amazon customers in video form, pretty crazy things, also A/B tests. We're gonna talk about that today with me, Matt. He's one of the co-founders of ProductPinion. He's gonna be making a little presentation showing us really cool things. And also we have another video, it's gonna be linked in the description, that is with another of the co-founders of ProductPinion, with Andri Sadlak, which also has more about ProductPinion itself and more about conversion rate optimization. So you can check that later on. And my name is Vova, seller on Amazon since 2016. Happy to have you here. Matt, happy to have you here too, man.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, man. Thank you for coming. What's up, man? How are you doing today? And I'm excited for the video. We have something cool today.
Good. Yeah, no, I'm doing great and excited to share this stuff because this can be a game changer. Like once you tap into this, it's like basically cheating on Amazon.
Let's go.
Okay, so I have a really quick presentation for you guys. I mean, nothing heavy, but we'll just go through this to give you some context of what we're talking about and how this can actually help you out. So selling on Amazon today, there's one big, there's many problems, but there's one big problem. And that is, competition is insane. So you try to sell any particular product, and what you'll find is this: there's tens, if not hundreds of the same bloody product on the platform. So as a seller, what can you do to stand out and do something differently? Well, make stuff that your customer wants. So it's not just making products that your customer wants, but also how do you make your listing something that resonates with your target shopper? That's the name of the game these days. If you're not building that proper brand, if you're not making stuff that resonates with who you're targeting, you're just going to be another Me Too product, and it's going to be an uphill battle to get those sales that you want. But it begs the question, how do we do that, right? Like, okay, it sounds easy, but like, what do we actually do? Well, turns out the easiest way is to ask people, ask shoppers, what is it that you want? Just tell me what you want and I'll give it to you. Yeah. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And a lot of asking is also testing, like figuring out which options resonate best with people. So like Vova mentioned, we're going to talk about how to use high tempo testing with Amazon's Manage Your Experiments in conjunction with each other to get the ultimate results, which is more sales. Everybody wants more sales. A little bit about me very quickly. I'm also an Amazon seller as well, done 7 figures. I've also helped other people actually grow their brands literally from $0 to millions online. I've also had some fun with Kickstarter, and Kickstarter is all about testing, all about product development and involving the audience to create that product that they want. So what I'm hoping is to bring my experience to you so you guys can take away, do this for yourself and be very successful selling on Amazon and wherever you might be whatever you'll be selling. So what is Manage Your Experiments? So Manage Your Experiments is Amazon's built-in A/B testing tool. It's super cool. Amazon knows as a big corporation, like how valuable testing can be. When you start testing, you start getting feedback on what works. So any big company, Airbnb, whatever it might be, they do a ton of split tests, Netflix, because they know just how valuable they can be making more money by just seeing what works with people. It's a great tool that you can use. However, there are some requirements. So you do have to have brand registry, for example. You also have to have an ASIN that has high traffic. So it doesn't work if you're just launching. You do have to have something that has some traffic because you need the traffic for testing. You can test mainly 3 things: that your A+ content, the headlines, and your main image as well, which are typically the lowest hanging fruit when you're testing an Amazon listing. There are some limitations though. So you can only do 1 experiment per ASIN at a time. And they typically recommend running an experiment for 10 weeks, which can be really long. I mean, you can choose to run it shorter, but if you're putting in the energy and time of waiting that long to get results, you want to make sure what you're testing with Amazon's tool is worth testing to begin with.
It's a great point.
Biggest benefit is that you actually get to see what these tests do to sales and your conversion rate. So no matter what tool you're using, you should definitely be augmenting it with Amazon Manage Your Experiments as well. So that leads to another question. And I like the questions, you can tell. How do I know what to test? So you figure that out by actually asking people and getting some qualitative feedback, also known as user testing. Put the thing in front of people and ask them questions on what resonates best for them, or ask them whatever questions you want. And you can ask people, what do you think of these search results? Which are the most interesting products that you would click on? You can send them a competitor's listing to see what the secret sauce of the competitor is doing. And obviously you can also ask people about your own listing and see what objections they have for why they're not buying. Really quick example. I love this example. I think we've shared it before, but in this instance, people were looking at a search result for these eye cleaning products. And what was interesting is multiple people looked at the We Love Eyes product because in the title, it mentioned that it was vegan and cruelty-free. The crazy thing is you can do all the keyword research in the world with your favorite keyword tools, but no one would look and see big search volumes for vegan or cruelty-free for an eye cleaning product. It doesn't, right? It doesn't click. So when you do something like this and you see what actually resonates with customers, you're getting the behind the scenes reasons of why a particular brand is selling. So this We Love Eyes product is selling really well. My hypothesis is that it's because people are resonating with those words that you wouldn't find otherwise unless you're actually seeing and hearing what people are saying, which is pretty crazy. So a user testing video is basically just that. It's someone looking over, an Amazon page, and they're saying out loud their thoughts and answering questions out loud that you set up and that you gave them. And I'm from ProductPinion. I'm a little biased. So there's other tools out there that let you do this sort of thing. But basically, ProductPinion is designed for Amazon sellers like yourself. And it gives you access basically to over 10,000 shoppers ready to give you their opinions on whatever you want to ask. So really quick, what we can do is I can show you in the software, how to actually set up a competitor research test, because I feel like this is the most important first step in understanding what you should be testing. So let me dive into that real quick.
So you're saying, Matt, that sometimes people are testing things on Amazon with Amazon Manage Your Experiments, but how do you know what to test, right? You can just put random things and maybe this will be a bit better, maybe this, but maybe if you pre-vet what you're testing on Amazon itself, then you can even have better results, because then you ask people before you even put it into Amazon that are Amazon shoppers, and let's see how we can do that.
100%. Yeah, basically you're trying to figure out if Amazon takes a few weeks to figure out results. You want to make sure what you're testing with Amazon is very likely to give you a good result, instead of just testing in the dark. Like, I'm just going to test this random idea A with random idea B. It's not as streamlined, it's not as productive as actually figuring out what resonates with people first. So when you're inside of ProductPinion, there's two main types of tests. One is Pinion polls, which is kind of the traditional A/B split test where you can ask hundreds of people. The other type is Pinion videos. So this is where you get that qualitative user testing feedback that we just talked about. So really easy to set up inside of ProductPinion. In this case, what I would recommend when you're just getting started, do a competitor research test. And basically what you're trying to figure out is what are the listings in your market that people are actively looking at? What are the ones that what resonates with them? So what you do, the first setup is internal. So this is what only you see when you're putting this together. So, and you also put a hypothesis. So it's like, what is it that you're hoping to learn by running this test? You can also organize things by category. So we have agencies that will put an ASIN in here. Otherwise, you can just say if you're looking for shower caps, you put that in just for reference later. And then this is where the magic happens. So this is where you're actually asking people the questions that can help you understand what it is that you should be testing. So in this instance, what I would do is put in a URL, like a search result URL. So that's really easy as well. Let me just grab a URL.
URL of a search page, I believe, of a keyword, right? On Amazon, you mean?
Yeah, exactly. So not necessarily, so I mean, it could be as simple as something like this, right? So Amazon.com search page. So everyone knows what an Amazon search result page will look like. So something like this. So basically you're asking people, like, when you're looking at this, what are the products that you're most likely to click onto? Why are you clicking them? click into the top 3 listings. What do you like? What do you could be improved? And this is where you're getting the ideas of, what can be improved. Okay, maybe that's an idea for a split test. You also don't have to stick with these preset questions. You can put whatever questions that that you like. So if you literally just wanted to ask one question and it's like, hey, how could, which product, click into a product, which one could be made better? You can do just that. Each video you'll get is about 3 to 7 minutes. And the less questions you ask, the more detailed they'll typically be. But you can ask up to 3 questions with typically you'll get more than enough time for them to answer three questions. I also really like asking people, like, what are the most important features and benefits? Because then you kind of get a feel for what people would actively be looking for this particular category. So once that's set up, you just pick the category, you pick the audience rather. You choose how many people that you want, and that's it. You're good to go. You launch this, the results come in, where basically you'll get results like this of people going through your listing. You take those notes on what people like, what they don't like, and you'll get those ideas for testing.
Yeah, so we get it in form of a video, right? I've used ProductPinion myself, and can we see an example, Matt? Yeah, let's say we have this one, and that's a real customer that actually.
Right, so this is.
I don't know if the sound.
Yeah, we can hear.
Hydrate, lid and lash cleanse for you. Scary for me.
So one thing she mentions really quick, like acid in my eyes is scary to me. So that would be so the product itself, it's like a natural kind of acid, but like if you don't explain that really well, like people are just gonna be like, acid, okay, I'm done, I bounce.
Great point.
So that was actually a key takeaway. And when this listing was changed, we actually made it more information about how it's like a natural type of acid that's gentle and that sort of thing. So you'll actually hear the objections that people have right off the bat. This type of test was an objection test. And that's why that's one of the results that came back for it. But yeah, for some reason, the screen ratio was a little funny there, but you got the idea of her clicking around and seeing it. Yeah.
Nice, cool. Man. Yeah, this gives us a lot of insight on our listings, right? Some things we weren't even thinking about, right?
Absolutely.
From real people.
And so basically, it's just that. Don't shoot in the dark. Don't just test blindly A versus blindly B. Actually get some ideas of what you should be testing first. You'll be much further ahead by doing that. So like we mentioned, how do you know then what's worth testing with Amazon? So we have some ideas, which are the ideas that we should actually put onto Amazon's testing platform. Well, that's where you do high tempo testing. So high tempo testing is basically getting feedback from hundreds of shoppers before you actually throw your experiment into manage your experiments. And you can do that inside of ProductPinion 2 with the polls feature. So for example, this is what a poll would look like. You're testing 2 main images, 2 titles, whatever it might be. You can throw it in there. And what was interesting with this one is it was a very slight variation. So, there's some eyelashes on this one. It's a little bit spread out. The one on the left actually was almost ready to go to print. It was like just about to go. We figured, hey, you know what? Let's do one more test. We do the test, and look at that. 86% of people preferred the one that wasn't going to print. So you get some really good data very fast as well. And how to set up an image split test. We can actually do this live. Okay, so for example, this is the other type of test. So it's a Pinion poll. So all you would do is go to new test. So similar idea. In this case, I had everything preloaded just for time's sake, but we put shower cap as the title. Which feature image would get the most clicks? We hit next. You're browsing on Amazon, you see the following images. Which ones are most likely to be clicked on and why? You're basically asking, you also get some, written feedback as well too. We have our 2 images. We hit next. In this case, we can ask 100, probably female, because I don't think a lot of dudes use the shower caps. And let's just hit next. Let's launch it. Done. And then within a few minutes, we'll actually start getting results, and we can actually check back on this just before we finish up the video, because I'm curious to see how fast the results come in. That's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
So now what we're doing is putting the high tempo testing inside of ProductPinion, and then if depending on that result, we can then send it over to Amazon's Manage Your Experiments. So how about an example of this? Like, how does it actually translate? How does it work? Well, this was pretty cool. This was a post that was shared by Mina. We'll give him a shout out in a second, but basically he was testing with Amazon's Manage Your Experiments, his title, and he wanted to see which title would do better. Now, both titles look fairly similar, but if you actually read them, there's a little few nuances, keywords are shifted around, that sort of thing. And he found version B is 88% probability it's a better title to lead to more sales. This result took about a week to come to. So pretty cool. Amazon's basically showing us how these will translate and are related to sales. I took the data that he had from the title and I threw it into ProductPinion as well, just to see, what the results would be. And interestingly enough, the results were very similar. So we had 86%, if you round to 87% probability that option B was, which was the same in his case, option B was better. But the nuance, the little difference is that this result took 3 hours. So being able to kind of do a sanity check to make sure that, that this is worth testing, you can do that inside of ProductPinion really quick and get results really, really fast. Mina runs Trivium. Check it out. He has a really cool PPC agency. Highly recommend. He knows his stuff to back in and back and forth. So absolutely. So testing game plan, basically what you want to do is get qualitative feedback first via user testing, whether you use ProductPinion or other user testing software. It's super valuable to get, what are the specific things in context that are most valuable to your shoppers. Do some high tempo split testing. So figure out what is the stuff that should make a difference. And then implement Amazon's manage your experiments and then rinse and repeat. Keep doing this. The small wins that you do compound over time. The other interesting thing is with ProductPinion, there's a whole bunch of other stuff that you can test. So not just hero images, but your infographics, your packaging. You can also test guarantees. So obviously you have to have a great guarantee when you're selling on Amazon. You can also test your inserts. So which insert are you most likely to respond with, right? A whole bunch of things. And this is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to testing. Inside of ProductPinion, we also have playbooks. So you can actually have predefined tests that we've set up and done on our own products. You have that available to you. And of course, you can change and modify any one of these as you see fit. You're not stuck doing just the predefined templates that we have for you. Like I mentioned, small wins compound. So every little improvement over time, if you improve one metric by 1.4% every week, you double that metric. So if you want to double your sales, you can do that through testing. And obviously the people that test more win more. So if you're doing a test a week, that's 52 shots on goal. You're going to outperform anyone else who's not testing at all. So with that being said, I'd love to check in on our little experiment that we just did. And let's see how fast we're getting some results. Let's see. So looking at it, we're already 12% complete. In this instance, there's not statistical significance because it probably means that the image is very close. But I mean, we only asked a handful of people so far. Yeah, we'll see what happens when this finishes up. It might take about an hour to get everything finished, but super cool that we're already getting responses. And it's actually perfectly even at 6 and 6.
And people are also saying why they chose the option, right? And there we go, another one. Boom. There we go.
Yeah,
the option B is winning for now.
Yeah, there we go. Man. And obviously it's very important to get the statistical significance on it too. So if it's so close, then it's like, I don't know. But in terms of marketing wise, like 80% plus is typically a good indication that that's the one that you should go with. Or for example, it's the one that you should be putting into manage your experiments to further test on how it impacts your sales.
Yeah, pretty cool. And people hear explanation, right? I really like the playfulness of the text. They explain why, right? So that's really interesting, man. That gives you extra insight also on maybe why is it good what you're doing or not, or why did they choose that, etc. Pretty cool, man.
Yeah, people actually like the rule the unruly. Yeah, very, very cool. So yeah, that's what I have for you in a nutshell. And obviously, if you're interested in playing with ProductPinion, head on over to our special link. I'm sure there's a link in the description below as well, and that you'll get some extra bonuses from us as well too.
Yeah, pretty cool. We're going to have the link, which will give you special kind of extra credits and just to play more with ProductPinion. It's a free account, and then you can actually invest in extra like polls or videos, etc. I've used it myself. I've used it for polls. I've used it for videos to tell me things about my listing, and I have discovered a few things that I didn't think about. because real people tell you things. And I recommend also doing different types of tests there that ProductPinion self recommends, and play with it, use it. The link is in the description. Affiliate link means that if you ever do business with the guys, I'm going to get a little commission from that. No extra cost to you, but in this way, it's possible to support my free content here. Here on the screen is an end screen on YouTube. We're going to have the other video about ProductPinion with Andri, Sadlak, co-founder also of ProductPinion. If you want to learn more about conversion rating optimization and more about ProductPinion, click on that to watch the video. And thanks everyone. Matt, thank you too, man. It was pretty interesting. Thank you.
Of course, yeah, no worries. Thanks for having me.